welcome everyone to what is supposed to be amateur hour commentary, and obviously, Wolf ain't ready. Here we go.
Have you not done your hair again, sir?
I have not done my hair. I've not changed my shirt. Like, might as well just go straight hoodie here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my brain has fell out today, so I'll have to leave that on the side for a bit.
All right, so for everybody's like understanding, we're over here casting Gabba's Army versus German Grandpas on my channel so that we can get coverage of both games that are going on. As you saw at the starting soon screen. Yo, what's up, Arab? We have Hacks versus Death Squad over on the Amateur Hour commentary and Alvo channel and all the other socials. And to get Gabba and German Grandpa's coverage, we're going to do it over here on my channel. And we also have the cool Alvo desk, which is really cool from a while ago. And this was back from the beta days, like before it even launched on PSVR. So I don't know if you remember this set at all, they're playing or not, but
no, not really.
Not even the slightest.
This is going way back. This is before I was even born.
Oh boy, like way before you're. Oh gee, okay.
Well, you know, when you used to write on pieces of slate instead of computers.
So we pretty much have everything set up the best that I like. I literally just finished up a while. I got Plank in here. I was still putting stuff together. So. If it's a little trash, I do apologize. But as long as we get the coverage, that's what's important. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Please, if you have the opportunity, go watch the other team as well. Let's see. All right. Why is their audio coming through here? Shouldn't be coming through. Okay, there we go. So I also don't have the scenes necessarily to show you guys. Who's on what team, but I can at least talk about it. I mean, that's part of it, right? If I look over, hold on, give me 1 second. So this is who's going to be playing, at least from what I can tell, who's going to be playing on Gabba's Army, and that's going to or not Gabba's Army, sorry, the German Grandpas. So for the German Grandpas tonight, who's going to be playing is Prince Nils, Andy, Spezzy, who's going to be our perspective. Snug and Mystery. So that's going to be who's playing for the German Grandpas. If we look at where they are, they're currently sitting in 7th place. So they're like second from last. But right above them is Gabba's Army. So it's not like that there's going to be a big difference in terms of performance, at least from what I understand. Like these two teams
are close. This could be a very close game.
This and as I was saying in the previous stream, this is probably one of like two of my favorite teams just to watch, simply because they are such cool people. Like they're fun. They're just out for laughs and giggles, and so it's bound to be an entertaining fight.
I think the idea being that these guys, they knew they weren't going to be banging on the top spots, but they thought, you know what, get a team together. Let's go out and enjoy it, and let's just entertain ourselves, for a Sunday evening or whatever. Because I think that, like I said last time, I think if you go in there with no prerequisites, let's go out and enjoy it. What we got to lose? Nothing. And I think what we've seen is, especially with the Grandpas, I mean, they were bottom of the league at one stage, weren't they? So they've managed to pull some good results back in the last few weeks.
I think the rate of fire is same as the proto, but yeah, it kicks.
Oh, so. That's why it's coming through. Oh, Wolf, you're so smart sometimes.
Have you figured it? Have you?
I figured it out. All right, so we got we've got Search and Destroy here on house to start things off. Now we are 7 weeks in, but if there are any new people here, just so you know, we're going to start with Search and Destroy, go to Hardpoint, and here comes Schlevy banging down this door to the bomb site, able to get 2 eliminations, gets dropped there finally.
But
yeah, we're going to start with some Search and Destroy. We're going to go over to Hardpoint, and then we're going to flip on over to Team Deathmatch to get the plant there at the site. And it looks like both teams or both perspectives have been eliminated here.
No, there's still players on each team, so it looks like there's Gabba's got 3. They're just scouring down the tunnels at the minute just to keep them corners at bay.
When you die in this,
Oh, it's
with only 10 seconds left, I don't know, man.
cagey, yeah.
I know Mystery's a good player, but everybody's got their limits. And I gotta say, this is a limit worth not crossing.
Three angles covered. Unless he's got 4 grenades, he's got no. He's not going to risk it.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Nope.
You know what? She's gonna save her own life there, protect KDR at least for now, and and they'll try.
Who gives a monkeys about KDR? What? Honestly, people who worry about that need to get alive. They need to get alive. Unbelievable.
That is definitely a tricky spot to go and push down. But here's Schlevy once again. He's pushing hard through the tunnels to get into this garage, and I gotta say the garage is a very good spot to try to attack. Coming up through the tunnels is very risky. Such a small room to try to push through.
It is on your right-hand side, where Slevy is now. There's a lot of people come behind those filing cabinets or getting that corner and dropping a few grenades timely. When they're coming up them stairs, that could wipe 2 or 3 out quite easily. Oof.
Yeah, and Grandpa's getting the win there. Yeah, Grandpa's getting a very decisive win. Nice, quick, easy. Capture everybody down there at the garage.
Yeah, the garage is a good spot, but like I say, you can also be a detriment if you've got a couple of good throw grenades into those corners. It's you think you've got it covered, but unfortunately, those grenades can take you out too easily.
Try and get up there if I don't run out of breath.
Now, if you had the option with these 2 sites, you got one that's up in the office and one that's down in the tank room. Which one would you choose?
He's down behind on the side of the house.
Tank room's probably better because you've only got 2 angles to worry about. Where you've got in the office, you've got coming through the roof light, you've got grenades coming through windows, so you've got a lot of angles of attack there. So I always remember when I used to, especially attacking the office, dropping down the actual roof light and throwing through grenades in used to wipe 2 or 3 out without any trouble at all. So, like you say, it's just a matter of if you're going to cover that area, you've probably got to stay a little bit wider.
The Spezzy is going nuts here, taking out Galaxy 6 and also Leaf. Now he's got the bomb site to try to push. There's only a couple angles. Going to get the grenade in there. Nice and early. Hits Puddles. She's hurt. Goes in. Finishers are up. Goes for the defuse. And the Grandpas are going to take another win. They're going up 1 point. Yo, what's up, Drum Smoke? How's it going, man? Thank you for tuning in. Just as a reminder, there is another match taking place on various platforms over here. One over here on YouTube on the official Alvo page. There's one on our original AH commentary page over on Twitch, over on Facebook group. And actually, I don't think we're able to get it up on TikTok since I'm the only one who has access to that at the moment. So, but you guys can watch the other game if you so choose as well. Try to get both of these games up, support all channels and support all teams. You got Grandpa's pushing here on garage once again.
Again, the beauty of houses is, like I say, the game's short, sharp, but you've got to be on your metal on these. You can't. You blink, you die. It's as simple as that. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't mind pushing up through the tunnel. I think it's a good spot to push, but you got to have some sort of distraction coming from inside the house down those stairs.
Yeah. A couple of mollies in there, like I say, just to give the idea that they're all pushing down one side. But like I say, you've just got to keep your eyes open in those corners.
We got the plant here. It does look like Spezzy is running solo in the garage.
Yeah.
That's 3 potential breach points he has to cover.
Yeah. So he's got to point and look at the same time. So he's pointing and wanting. Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Du musst runter, geh runter.
I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due, man. Holding those 3 spots and then getting that angle. Really good shots, man. Holy cow.
If you can hit it on the swivel, definitely.
Galaxy against Mystery. Lady up against Lady.
I do love a good 1v1.
Your own cat fight.
Unlucky.
And Grandpas are going to take another win, up 2-1, or up 2, I should say.
Difficult with a 1v1, especially if you've got the timer against you. You know, you've got to be you can't be too careful, but you can't be too gung-ho. It's that fine line between,
Oh, so it's
you know,
not like right there.
aggression and control.
Damn it. I'm
It
sorry.
could be
guys.
anywhere in the vicinity.
Got a few going left. Right across the front.
I really. Whoa, hello there. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. It's
Einer ist
just
Heli,
kinda went
Achtung.
wonky there.
Einer ist am Heli.
That corrected. I was gonna say, you know, Gabba's army, they're really gonna have to do something to turn things around. They're down by 2. Not that that's a significant amount, mind you, but here on Search and Destroy, with having no respawns,
Galaxy, throw a grenade.
being down
over
by
the
2
Hummer.
rounds
Like 2 of them
can
over
be
there.
can be a
Has
problem.
a grenade, throw a grenade by the
As long as
Hummer.
they've got the comms
Behind
in
you,
order,
Galaxy,
that's the
Swabby,
important
behind you.
thing.
He's by the van.
As long as the guys are on cameras and they've spread across the distances and they've got the corners, they can really get that information
Got a
across
grenade.
very easily.
2 at the Humvee.
Levy able to take out one there
Oh.
behind.
Got one.
Yep.
Guys, good job. You-
Dude, there's
But
so
he,
loud.
you know, he is a really good
Still
shot.
by the
He's
tent.
taking the
He's
angle here at the
down
top of the
by the
stairs,
tent.
looking
I've got
underneath
him
the vehicles.
distracted.
He's a really good
One's by
shot,
the
but
Hummer, still at
unfortunately he is
first
getting
bit.
beaten
Him before Slevy.
in a lot of these exchanges.
By
No,
that
the other
big
Hummer.
One's in the tent near the
the Hummer by the
To the left.
by the rocks.
He's still
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah.
And this is a lovely place to cover, just behind the hedge with the tree. So you've got the tree to cover you on the right-hand side. You've just got to be careful nobody actually comes up through the tunnel and back through the shed.
One by the tent,
So-
one by the Hummer.
Defending, so we
But
can-
if you can control that corner, it is a very nice spot indeed.
We can see the grandpas aren't really making much movement forward. They are
No.
taking this very cautiously.
Very defensive.
Ooh, Schlevy peeking at the tree and
Ooh.
Spezzy tagging him just a bit.
Yeah, just pepped him a bit there.
So ist nur einer da.
Nur noch der am Gartenhaus, Spezi. Ja. Der ist in
Oh,
dem
no, he's
großen
coming.
Gartenhaus. Weiter.
Ah ja,
T-Force
red
in the
weiter, red
play.
weiter, red weiter.
I don't think he has
Thinks he's
many
pushed it back in
options
the house.
though. Simply because I don't think he's got any teammates left.
He thinks he's pushed him back. Yeah.
Don't see any green arrows. Here goes the plant. Now this is I think everybody's favorite spot to plant here in the garage. Is behind the pole. There's a lot of coverage. And, you know, honestly, if he tucks himself in the corner behind that workbench,
Was
Oh!
eine Tür
he stands a
oder?
greater chance at survival. But
Tür war
Blindsided.
falsch.
Yeah, blindsided him there. Came down the ramp.
oh my God, it truly was a
heißt Orange
1v1 there.
Yeah.
Holy moly! Well, they've just gained another
Yeah.
win. It's 3-2.
Egal, weiter geht's. Komm, einmal noch legen.
Do you think they should move one of the bomb sites over to underneath the canopies for the tent? I can't remember ever being able to plant near that tent. It always seems to be
Lass uns
bomb
Tunnel gehen.
room,
Lass uns alle Tunnel
garage,
gehen, oder?
bomb room,
Okay.
boiler room.
Yeah, it's always
Warte, ich komme mit
focused on
Tunnel.
the house.
Yeah.
I honestly,
They think it's too
honestly,
open. Do you think it's too open where the tent is?
I
So
mean,
I think-
perhaps it could be, but there's also plenty of defense. I mean, there's a hard point there.
Mm.
You know, you got to try to hold off
Mach
there.
fähig,
Yeah.
komplett,
There
ich
as
komm
well.
hin, ich komm hin.
This is right thinking because it's not regularly used in search and
hab ihn.
destroy. It's I thought they would have done. 'Cause it's a hard one to cover because it's so open. But if you can get there quick and get the advantage and get yourself set in those bushes, you can take some damage. You can dish it out quite easily.
It's B.
What's going on, PJ? Welcome, welcome.
5, I would just push up to that Hummer real quick.
Probably hide.
Otherwise he's gonna...
They threw fire in the tunnel.
You said check behind the Hummer.
Leaves.
It's friendly
Puddles.
fire.
Okay.
2-2.
There's one in the
So
tunnel, it looks like. Unless that's just
Not
two.
see who her teammate is, but is not someone I am familiar with. They are a stand-in, I believe.
Mystery. She's right in the tunnel. She's faced.
There's 2.
As
I'm surprised
Gabba-
surprised Herb's not playing. I thought. I think. Oh, you got work tomorrow, Herb, even though it's a bank holiday.
Ah, scheiße, yeah, well,
All right,
Probably
there's
time
another win by the grandpas,
There we
and they're
go.
up 2.
Yeah.
That other one thing to keep in mind about Gabba's army is that they've had some difficulties with
So,
their
ich denke von
roster.
Defense.
Trying
Yes.
to make sure that there's plenty of people to play.
gehe
So
runter,
Puddles has been
kommt der
picked
mit,
up as a
kommt der
free
mit?
agent, she was
Okay.
originally on Devil's
Alles klar.
Spit. Now,
He
now
was.
they have someone 5v5, something like that. That's what it looked like.
Ich hab Tunnel im Blick.
It looked even. It looked even.
I think that's their name is like
Right next to the flower
F5E5 something
pot.
or other.
Near
Ah.
the double doors.
Yeah, I haven't
Aim
quite
with this gun.
grasped it yet, but here goes Slevy
Slevy.
up to the roof.
At the front, rock by the tank.
I mean,
Still
it's
in the
one thing I
window,
used to
so-
love: running down running up the actual steps, across the roof, down the actual hatch, run across again, back up the road. Oh, it's just craziness. But keeping moving, I used to think was vital, but not so much in S&D.
No,
fuck.
no, not unless you're
Der muss B
on the
irgendwo sein,
defense
aber
and you
außerhalb.
know the bomb site has been, or the bomb has been planted at the
Yeah.
office
Bleib, ja,
space.
bleib
Then
unten.
that movement, that mobility becomes crucial. Going up the ladder, getting to that top sunroof
Ihr
there.
müsst zur A gehen. Mystery Snack, ihr müsst zur A
Especially
gehen.
when you jump down with Barry the Bayonet and you stick one in their face. It's
Yeah.
just very
That's better.
satisfying. Very
Aber wartet,
satisfying.
macht langsam, macht langsam.
Okay, well, we got 2v1.
Grillplatz.
Just came out of the shed.
Back of the
He's
house.
at the back of the house.
He's down. Where's...
One more,
Oh,
one more.
shit, damn it.
Where was?
Had it.
Good job.
Oh, they've got it.
I'm sliding
Just
behind the
coming up.
tree and she came
So,
out of the
one
steps
more
into the
round.
room.
Will be Grandpa's
Yeah, very well could be. And now they're on
Defense, ich gebe runter
defense,
wieder.
and this is a position they, you know, any team would want to be in if they are at match point.
Aber nicht übertreiben.
Ja, ja.
Ich hab den Tunnel im Blick.
Yeah, straight away they're covering the
Love
yeah,
that.
the
angle
boiler
that
room.
Slevy has.
The boiler room is classic. I
langsam,
like the way it's set up. I mean, like I say, you've only got two entrances, but you have got the lattice that you can shoot through if you grab a good shot and you can see anybody through it. That used to be a favourite of mine, but like I say, you can't throw Molotovs or grenades through, so it is a little bit more risk and reward.
Welcome, Mental Man. Thank you for joining. Got bomb
A
planted
ist gelegt,
at the
Achtung, A ist
office.
gelegt.
Grenades
Mhm.
up and in, gonna do some damage perhaps.
Yep.
Here goes the push up the stairs, trying to get, oh, that throw. Not quite making it
Unlucky.
in.
Hit the top of the door. Well, actually the window frame. I mean, one thing I love about these grenades is getting the bank
Geh
shot
den schärfen.
off door frames and window frames. Make a
Geh den
massive
schärfen.
difference, but like you say, sometimes it goes against you.
Mystery oben.
Well, they're still trying to make their way up to that office space. There's no one left, and they're going to be able to get the
Yep.
defuse here. The grandpas.
The win confirmed.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you know, I'm
Oh.
kind of surprised. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised. I thought Gabba's army were going to take this one, but it just goes to show how strong the old men are.
Yeah.
By the way,
Maybe they showed the hand. Maybe showed their hand a little bit too early in the early rounds. And like I said, they got a good start, but I think the grandpas just decided, right, let's change our tactics, and their tactics obviously paid off massively. So, well done to the grandpas.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
It's all about age and experience, and all about youth and exuberance.
Which meant
What this comes down to, or at least from what we can tell in that exchange, was part communications and I need to mute that. Part communications and part just map knowledge, being able to
Yes,
space out
absolutely.
properly, being able to tell each other when they see someone going somewhere else, if there's no one at the certain bomb site that they're holding. I mean, where Spezzy was for that particular engagement at the bomb site was perfect for Mystery when she was pushing up the stairs there and being able to take people out through the windows. I mean, it was perfect placement. But as we all know, like search and destroy, it's one life, and some people are just not really good on those one life type of game modes. So we got some respawns coming up with Hardpoint next. Does look like High Rise. Ooh, if they pick High Rise, ooh. Ooh. I don't know if you've had the
Fabulous.
pleasure of playing on High Rise yet.
I love High Rise.
Okay.
Love High Rise.
It's a great map. As long as you don't fall off of it, it's a great map. But for
That's the
Hardpoint,
fun. That's the fun. If Steve wants to add jetpacks, If you want to add jetpacks, that's the perfect map for it, because you can just glide your way in. I'll go through this window and back through the other. But you can drop out from one level, and then if you're lucky enough to push yourself forward, you can land on the level below. So you're not you're not scrabbling for for footage. If you can get in that momentum to get back into that, you can move in midair even though you've not got a jetpack. So yeah, high rise is fun. There's some absolute quality spots to camp, to hide, to run, to re-energize if you're in if your health is low. So yeah, I've great map. It is a fantastic map.
Simultaneously, with that being said, with plenty of areas to hide and cover and all that, it still is a relatively open map. Like
it is.
There's so much space, and you got to make sure you use your cover wisely. You got to move from one location to the next, especially if someone's got those top 2 floors. Like we got the base floor here, where we saw the countdown happening, where Spezzy currently is. There are 2 floors above that you have to be mindful of. So we'll see if both teams take that in consideration, as it does look like Gabba's army has taken control of the first point.
I think it's very deceptive as well. You think it's not very open, but you think, where the hell have I been picked off from? You've got people up on the gangtree. You've got people on top of the girders that are part of the lattice system, just on the second floor. There's a lot of verticality in this, and like you say, a lot of movement across the floors, even when you've not got solid floors to go on. So again, map knowledge is massive in this one.
It's all going to come down to perimeter play, particularly with high rise as absolutely key. Positioning yourself so that you can prevent a counter take from the opposing team, using the verticality to your advantage, finding those little nooks and crannies. Where we see Schlevy currently is there's a nice little concrete wall there that you can sit behind to control those stairs and any approach coming in that direction, especially for that one hardpoint location. But it has since moved, so they're going to have to reposition here. And this is an opportunity for Gabba's army to come back and try to get a win. Right now, G-Paz walking away with that search and destroy with 1 win. And I hate this particular hardpoint location. Is the most open spot, man.
It's murder. It's murder. It really is. If you can get any shots off whatsoever, and you hold a couple of points here, you've done well. You've done very well. This is carnage at its best.
Bleib drin, bleib drin, bleib drin.
Looking at the score there, I believe there's a 12-point difference, so it's not a huge gap.
Oh no, it's 8 points. No, 8 points.
Ich bin drin.
Just looked at the because I've got the main thing. I've got the slight delayed feed, so if I miss anything, I can repeat back to the other one.
For those who don't really know how hardpoint works, green means your team has control, red means the other team has control, yellow means it's contested, and white means it's not been occupied yet. And there is a time buffer from when it spawns to give people an opportunity to rotate to that new position, and all hardpoint locations are random. There is no sequence to this, so you can't plan your attack moving forward. It makes it a little bit balanced for both teams. Everybody's going to have to respond as quickly as possible to get to that new hardpoint location.
Also depends on the spawns as well. Sometimes you can have one of those games where if you do spawn, then it obviously regenerates a new hardpoint, and you're right next to it. It can be a game changer. It really can. So, there's I wouldn't say there's an element of luck, but I mean there's definitely some opportunities to take advantage of if you're fortunate enough to spawn within a very close proximity.
We actually saw that occur with Spezzy during the rotation towards those stairs. He was holding that point, and coincidentally, it did spawn on him. So. But Gabba's army were very quick to get on the point and contest.
Yeah, this is where KDR doesn't actually mean anything in this game. It's just a matter of holding. Even if you have to, give yourself up and then luckily spawn into a new site, then sometimes it's just a matter of playing the game to your advantage.
Yeah, how good are you at playing the objective? This is why I always say you gotta have a good balance of objective players and perimeter players. You gotta have both.
Right.
If you don't have both, you're gonna be hard stuck trying to get those points.
As with any team game, isn't it? You've got to have your players who can, do the dirty work, but obviously support the guys who are in the hard point. Because at the end of the day, it's not. You only need one person in there. Having 2 people in there makes no difference at all. even if it's contested, even if there's 3 of them and 1 of you, it's still, you know, the site is still set as a level playing field. So there's no advantage of having more players in the actual zone. So yeah, it's just a matter of get one in, support, and back up.
Just as we saw Spezzy trying to push on the location and gets tagged from behind while a member of Gabba's army sitting on the point collecting the score. And yeah, what's great about this map in terms of the hard point is agreeably the number of rooms. Like these are obviously it's under construction, right? Like it's pretty clear by the game design or map design here, and it creates for very good exchanges, like what we were seeing here on this generator spot. You only have a few areas to breach, but you have such tall barriers to hide behind. So teams do have to approach cautiously.
Yeah. Like you say, it's deceptive, this map. Always has been, and that's why I think I fell in love with it. Industrial still probably one of my favourite maps, but this comes a very close second now. Because of its just its versatility. It's just brilliant.
And in drum smoke, yeah, I try to make that point as often as possible because you know, a lot of people get super fixated on the point, and then they go one in at a time. And what does that do except feed the other team? So you got to approach it with a team mentality. There's not a big point difference here between them.
No, there isn't.
Like 11 points, if I saw that correctly.
112 to 101. It's going to be close. It's going to be. These are the games I thought would be close.
And fortunately for Gabba's army, they are in the lead. We'll see if they can maintain this control.
Oh, they've extended the lead as well now, so they've picked up a few extra points. They still need to push. They can't sit on the laurels. They need to keep pushing.
Yeah, grandpas are slowly losing any chance of turning this back around.
It's all about the momentum. Keep the momentum going. It's very hard to claw it back. When it's flip-flopping between the two teams, that's when it really gets dicey. But once you've got one team who are doing the perfect defense of the actual zone, it's very hard to get any points out of them. I think Gabba's army are executing that perfectly. But you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yep. Because these are, I believe, if I remember the count.
Levy's just absolutely wailed. 3 of them. I'd take some of that sunshine.
Slap. Just go to sleep, boys.
Yeah. This smell of Rohypnol, very nice.
You won't remember what happened that morning.
Yeah. Oh, my bum feels sore. What's going on here? Whoa. What's this bayonet doing in my backside? Bloody hell.
I mean, he was done with his kill streak there, man. He was like, you know
what?
He
got the bazooka out. I'll have a bit of that.
He's like, yeah, I've killed enough.
There you go. Well done. I've killed enough. I thought I'd just slap a few more with 50-50. Bobby the bazooka. Well done, Gabba's army. That was a good recovery from that first round. So game on. Game on.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're right now both teams looking very good. I'm glad that we're tied. I mean, I'm glad it's not a blowout. I don't want to necessarily say this is true. I'm not watching the other game, but I suspect that the other game might be a bit of a blowout. I could be incorrect about that, but it is between Death Squad and Hacks, and Hacks, as good of a team as they are, Death Squad is undefeated, and they're looking to continue that.
Well, they're 100%, aren't they, at the moment? So they're taking that to the final grand final, which will be very interesting indeed if they can keep that 2-point lead. Yeah, but let's not worry about that until day of the grand final.
Oh my God, that's going to be insane. And if you guys want to watch that, we will be live over on AH Commentary. That's twitch.tv/AH Commentary. And we're going to be live also on the Alvo YouTube channel, over on their TikTok and their Facebook group page. So we're going to be all over the place for that final. If you guys haven't checked out that new video or that cinematic trailer that was posted, it's over on our Facebook group channel at Amateur Hour Commentary, and it's also over on the Alvo one, so go check it out. And if you guys haven't subscribed or followed in any of those locations, be sure to do so. Now, we are live over here so that we can get coverage for all teams. This is the last week before we enter that final showdown between Death Squad and Trauma. And we felt it important that everybody continue to get the coverage that they can get. What's up, Ryan? How's it going? So if you guys are enjoying this, I can't guarantee you we're going to be doing coverage here on my channel every single time. This is kind of like a backup, and I want to make sure Doyle had our channel covered. And of course, I have the pleasure of sitting with Plank, who, if y'all don't know, Plank is just, I mean, he's just an absolute legend in the Alvo community. He's been around for a long time, and he was one of the primary users of the flea market dildo sticks, also known as the move controllers.
I've left them downstairs, mate. They're on charge. You know, the vibration just got a bit too much. So.
You had a little bit of private time with them earlier, huh?
Yeah, I got carpal tunnel, mate. Carpal tunnel. But no, I keep saying to Sean, please, if you're going to add PSVR 2 onto this, please, can we have the option of, you know, a move equivalent for PSVR 2, so we can just have the one hand? But I don't think they will, because I think they would have implemented that on Quest as well. But never mind.
Yeah, it's tough. I think with the PSVR 2 controllers, it's going to prove very difficult to make anything similar along the lines of the move controllers, unfortunately.
Well, I can see a lot of stocks being purchased for PSVR 2 as soon as this is launched, because I think that's where it's going to really be needed big time.
There's quite a few models out already.
Yes,
which are really
there is.
Cool. I know that ProTube. By the way, this game is supported by ProTube and bHaptics, or it supports ProTube and bHaptics feedback. So if you guys are interested in using that more immersive peripheral equipment, then go ahead, get yourself one. I've been tagging and adding ProTube for a while, so they're quite aware and a little bit more privy to what's going on here with Alvo. So don't hesitate. Get into it and immerse yourself even greater. I can't wait to get my ProTube, my hands on one.
I'll have to do a little bit of market research and find out which is going to be the most comfortable for myself. So, but I've seen a few, but I'm just waiting for that definitive device that comes out. But anyway, we'll wait. We'll worry about that another day. Got to test the damn thing first.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Bless you.
Here we are on Industrial for our first team deathmatch, and we're gonna see. So, what I found interesting is between private matches like this, where there's a much greater level of competitiveness, versus let's say public fights, is that teams are less inclined to attack each other on team deathmatch.
Gauge, yeah, yes.
And
I think that's the thing. There's that caginess, isn't there? They're just setting themselves out, getting their locations, getting their points in check. Because obviously, depending where they're spawning. But yeah, I agree. There's that little bit of caginess and that not throwing yourself right into the mix of it.
What's going on, 420? I know I saw your messages earlier. I do apologize. It's just sometimes I get on a roll and I start talking and I don't shut up. So yeah, I see you there. Appreciate you stopping in. Hopefully you're enjoying.
Blame me. I'm putting him off.
No, not at all. I'm still a little overly stressed from having a race to get this set up. I didn't think it would be nearly as bad as it was, but so far everything seems to be running okay. So I don't really have much.
Mate, hold on. Fox News are on the line, mate. They've got quite a few vacancies at their place. Sure, everybody's left Fox and moved to CNN.
Oh God! Shots fired.
I read the news. This is very cagey. There's a lot of cat and mouse here. Yeah, cagey. I like this.
So it is respawns, but yeah, everybody's playing it super safe right now. I believe Gabba's army is the team that is up in points, and it's last I saw the score was 9-3. So that's not a lot of eliminations. So they're gonna play this out, try to run the clock.
Yeah, the beauty of this map though is the actual center warehouse is brilliant, Because, like I say, you've got obviously the bear pit across the way, but like I say, in here, if you can hold down the actual warehouse, it's an absolute beast. Because, like I say, you've got like where Slevy is now, he's got full view. Oh, he's just been picked off. But like I say, he's got a great advantage over the top of where the, well, as we like to call them, the boobies. Some people have different names for them, but it's a family channel, so we have to be careful. But yeah, it's just getting that elevation of, you know, being able to see over the top and into the pit is...
But even where
Good
he
advantage.
was, which is what we kind of call the
Yeah.
me and a few others called the prison walk. It's a very good angle, especially if spawns start showing up back here where Schlevy's pushing. Like you said, there's so much coverage from that particular location. But holding down the central building, people will try to push there, and it gives if you take control of it first, you have what I always call Peeker's advantage, right? You're holding the angle, and you can pick people off coming up the stairs, coming around the corner. Like, yes, there are many opportunities for you to get tagged from the flank, but at the same time, if it's held very well, which we actually saw Devil Spit do a lot in Search and Destroy, it's nearly impenetrable.
It is. And it's just getting those locations absolutely nailed down. They're very quick within, you know, once you've spawned in, get into there. But obviously communication to make sure that nobody's already in there that's, you know, where the enemy is basically flank you out to that location. But they are playing very cagey. It's like Spez is looking for the photocopier to stick his bum on and see if he can photocopy his arse, but, you know, we'll move on. Who hasn't done it? Come on, you must have done that. You must have done that.
If I had the chance, I probably would.
You need to get out more, Wolf. You really do.
Unfortunately, the facts or the copier machine is out in public. It's kind of hard to find them.
Never stop me. Never stop me. Never stop me. Anyway, moving on. That's another story. Another story for another day.
Did you save any
This
copies?
is really cagey. Problem is though, they were black and white, so you didn't really get to see much.
Oh damn!
It's before colour was invented. Now, especially having these, looking after these stairwell here can be a great, great Peeker's advantage, especially if he's moving up and down. But he's obviously keeping an eye on that escape tunnel to his right. Look at that, he's absolutely
His
got
angles are insane
Yeah.
right now. The clock getting down to, I think, a minute 30 left, if I saw that correctly. There's not.
They're
a lot
not
of time
dying enough
left.
to see the scores at the moment.
Well, maybe we should have did the titties.
Yeah, this
Really
has
are.
been very, very well contested. I like this.
Yo, I know we could beat these fuckers. Yo, I played
Like
this
stuck.
before.
A lot of cat and mouse. A lot of cat and mouse. So,
Jumping everywhere.
Gabba's army looks like they're holding down the.
Even on a US or they're waiting on a map.
Ooh. Again, just being careful on top of those office buildings below him. Sometimes
Yeah.
they'll be hiding behind the air conditioning units.
I don't
Oh, he's
know if he
picking them off
saw
the
me either.
boobies. Look at that. Oh, just seen him flick onto his scoreboard. Quick. Oh, he's 21-18, I think. It's close. This is close.
How is it that few kills? These guys are playing it, as you've been saying, very cagey, very close to the chest. Like, no one wants to engage.
Yeah, Andy.
This is where, you know, your game management comes into play. Oh, he killed himself there. Yeah. Good effort.
I got him both.
You're not having a point. I'll kill myself instead.
No one,
game management's massive.
no one makes me bleed but me. We got 10
Thank you very
seconds left
much.
on the clock, and we will see what this comes down to. Have Gabba's
I
army
think
been
Gabba's
able
got this.
Office.
hold this lead?
Oh,
Did
Chevy
they
just
lose
picked
it?
two off there.
28 to 32, and it looks like the Grandpas take the win
they've
by
just pulled it
4.
back. Wow.
Holy
They were trailing
cow.
90% of that game. Wow.
I'm genuinely surprised. Like,
Good effort. Good effort.
wow, dude. All right, well, that's going to conclude the first half. We got a second half to play. German Grandpa's going into the second half, 1 up. I mean, based on what we saw in terms of performance, what are your prospects for Gabba's army going to search and destroy?
If they take any sort of thing from the first 2 games, they've obviously got to get search and destroy under their belts a lot better. They went in pretty much all guns blazing, and then the grandpas just stood back and picked them off far too easily. But hopefully they've learned from that. They did really well on hardpoint. To be fair, I thought they did really well on team deathmatch, but obviously they just got picked off at the end. I thought he got 4 in a row there at the end, but obviously they managed to. The grandpa's. It's going to be. I can't call it. I can't call it.
It is a tough
It's
one. It is a
knew
tough
it'd be
one because
close. I knew it'd be close. I didn't
But-
think it was going to be a mullering. I didn't think either team was just going to walk through this. And I actually got my bets down. I think Ladbrokes gave me 4 to 6 on for a draw. I think 3-all draw was the best odds I could get from the local bookmakers. So we'll see. We'll see.
my greatest
You
concern about
never see a bookie on a bike, mate. You never see a bookie on a bike.
I'm most concerned about with team deathmatch, and I've actually it's most of the time because if I'm producing, I can't hear the game audio, guys, so I'm just going off of what I see. The issue, but in my experience in playing team deathmatch, most of the time people aren't really fixated on the score, but when you're playing it that safely, as we saw both teams do, and you're that like you are really concerned about the score in general. You need someone paying attention to that because when the clock starts ticking and it gets under a minute, that's when pressure starts rising. And if you are even close to being behind, then you've got to do something. You've got to change it. And I'm not sure if Gabba's army were attentive to the score and the clock. You got to have that fine balance of, yes, we have the industrial building held down and we have many, many angles held. But truth is, if you have that position but are still behind, then how advantageous is holding that position? Sometimes you got to give a little bit and be like, okay, we got to give up this strong spot. We got to go out, get the perimeter, and start hunting people down to really gain a little bit more comfortable of a lead.
It's difficult because we can't see how the others are reacting either, can we? We've only got the 2 perspectives of one from each team. So, like you say, the lack of information coming back from that, we don't know exactly how they're communicating that info across the board. So, I just think they got mullered within the last 10, 15 seconds because they were winning. They were ahead all the way through that game until right at the end where the score obviously popped up. I thought, bloody hell, what happened there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like somebody tossed a grenade in and killed 4 of them in one go, and then just finished a couple extra off, and it's gone from being 3 behind to 4 in front. That's how quick it can change with any sort of any game.
Yep.
And deathmatch is definitely the one that can change the quickest if you get the kills in quick and regularly as well.
And I think this is what German grandpas potentially did because they were stuck on the perimeter. They couldn't really breach that building too well. But in the end, it didn't really matter because they held the perimeter, they watched their angles, and they got those eliminations. Like you said, it turns very, very quickly. And if you're not cognizant of that, paying attention to the score with 30 seconds left on the clock, now all of a sudden it's a 5v6 because now your opponent's the clock. And then it's going to make you, it leads you to make errors as well. So it's just one of those things.
The tension starts to get in, and you start to, you feel your shoulders tensing up, and you're not holding the, if you've got whichever you're using, aim stock or aim control or whatever, your movement just seems that little bit more restricted. Where if you're trying to be relaxed within the game, you probably would have maybe saved yourself from being killed, or maybe picked off an extra couple beforehand. But like you say, it was so close for so long. To flip so quickly at the end is, well, hats off to the grandpas. They obviously executed their plan to last minute as well as anybody.
They did what they needed to. They got the win.
Exactly.
They're going into the second half 1 point up. Now, before we actually do start, it does look like we're heading into Dojo for Search and Destroy, which is a fan favorite. It seems to be a player favorite as well for the competitive side of Alvo. Hopefully you guys enjoy Dojo. I say this all the time, but I like giving credit where credit's due. When there is good map design, there is good map design. And CSGO is one of the longest standing esports in the world. It's still going strong today, and it's probably one of the most popular next to League of Legends. And this map is designed after one of those maps in CS:GO called Dust 2. And everybody says that they love Dojo, and it's for good reason. It's highly competed in CS:GO, so it must do well here as well. So it's just got a different coat of paint on it. And honestly, I like the Dojo aesthetic. It's very nice. And it's also dark. It's dark. It's not super dark like what we see in Desert, but it's still a nice nighttime map.
Somebody who's never played CS:GO, I couldn't really give any comment on that, but the map itself is fabulous. It's got nooks and crannies all over the place. You know, you can nip into little rooms. Well, they're not even rooms, are they? They're people's bedrooms, to be fair.
Yep.
You could jump out of windows. You can jump on top of air conditioning units to get to higher elevations. Again, this map has got, once you know the map inside out, you play to your advantage big time.
It's another one of those maps where mobility is important. We talked about the verticality of high rise, and although it's not very apparent here in Dojo, there is a lot of verticality to utilize. The air
More than you would
conditioning-
expect.
The
More
air
than you would
conditioning
expect.
unit that you were referring to can lead to getting to a rooftop right across the way onto a different balcony, which gives you coverage over the entire central lane, all the way to the playground and also the apartment right above the playground. So it's a very good, advantageous spot to hold. And in hardpoint, you want to use the verticality. Now, we're not going to be playing that here, but it is something to keep in mind that despite it looking to be mostly a flat, very little verticality type of map, it's not. And I encourage everyone to explore this map to its fullest, because it's got some cool, unique areas that a lot of people oversee or overlook.
I think sometimes with the speed of the game as well, like you say, you don't always naturally see the areas that you're covering. I mean, this area here behind the van seems to be very popular with most of the actual players. Just getting, because you're lower down in the actual street level because it's on a ramp, but you've also got the cover of the van as well. So if you can hold that, there is some major killing to be going on there. Here we go.
Das ist schön.
Spez has already got the. He's moved down now from that top roof onto the playground, just covering that corner. Yeah, that intersection can be carnage at times. You're coming out from the Dojo. Oh, you bugger. Woohoo!
Yikes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, his name is 5v5. Interesting.
Ah.
Just spelled with a bunch of fives.
Stimmt, die Schulterbombe.
Guess if you gotta be different.
We used to have a pop group in Britain called Five, and they used to be quite good. And if it's one of them, no, I doubt it. Doubt it. They couldn't sing. They couldn't sing. Never mind play computer games. Okay.
It's by the balcony, the back of the noodle cart thing.
Moving on.
Andy's going to be.
Okay.
Not that noodle cart.
I gotta say, Gabba's army is really putting up a great fight here. It's very different Gabba's army from what we saw in the first half.
This is what I was hoping. I was hoping they would put a little bit more concentration into the actual formulation of their plan.
Yeah, upstairs in the dojo.
It might also have been
No,
the
he's
map
downstairs.
choice in the first half, as opposed
out
to
the back.
Dojo being the map choice here. Some people or some teams are very good at certain maps, while others not so good.
It depends, I suppose. If I'm guessing, obviously, with a lot of the Quest players, Dojo was brought in as part of the the Quest launch. So that was pretty much their favourite map from day dot. But the actual quality is brilliant. I mean, since Industrial came out, I think the maps have been absolutely astonishing, and I can't wait to see what's happening around the corner.
Yeah, he's near the
If they keep
park
churning
now.
out quality
Big
like
pots.
this, this game's going to be a classic for many years to come.
I can tell you right now, we have one in the works in beta right now, which is going to bring back a little bit of the chaos that everybody was missing from. Nice shots here by Schleppy,
Oh, what
finishing
a
up the
goal.
round.
I knew he didn't need much. 'cause I
Lovely
put
sideways
my
swipe
fire
there.
down.
Well done, you man. Well done.
For all those who missed the chaos of the original house map and a few of those other close quarter maps, we got one hell of a map coming your way. It's inspired by industrial, and you'll see why, and you'll appreciate it. And it's entitled The Pit for a reason. So hopefully you guys
Chaos
enjoyed that.
Corner.
But we got a couple of other maps coming that are gorgeous. I can't wait to share them with you guys. Grandpa's trying to push through the restaurant here, avoiding the Molotov fire.
Wenn du bei Doppeltor rausgehst, bei A sind 2 Stück. A kurz sind 2 Stück.
I'm gonna sacrifice anybody who's
Oh,
gone. No. Ooh.
Mystery's out. This is where Angle, the Prince Nils gets dropped.
Another one gone.
Spezzy's just watching all of his friends dying right in front of his face.
Here we go.
And he's able to
Pick
take
one,
out
pick one.
Prince.
Oh, unlucky. 3-0.
Puddles. Yeah, man. Gabba's army has really flipped a switch here.
They've obviously had a little bit of a sit down, had a little bit of a talk, had a little bit of a regroup. Like I say, I knew this was going to be a close game. Full stop. Going back to the original house map, Wolfie. I remember when I first came in on the beta. It took me a week to get my first kill. It was just chaos. It was just chaos. I don't think I shot anybody for about a week. It was just absolutely mental. But my God, did I have the best time of my life. It was horrendous. It was just funny across the board.
I think that's when Pineapple Squelch really came to form.
Pineapple Squelch, that was me. I came up with that.
I know.
That was me.
And I think it's
Pineapple
because of
Squelches,
House.
mate. Oh, it was just fun. We should have just had I think one round should be grenade only. I think we should have 5 grenades each, especially if the pits come in, and just throw grenades around and see who can juggle. Catch.
Oh my God.
Especially with like you say, now we will all be using separate controllers now instead of moving from the aim and whatever. So juggling grenades will be amazing. So.
Ooh, we got 2 grenades. Oh, I think that got the elimination. Oh, there's one more. Spezzy's not able to get it.
Absolutely, Mullen. He just didn't see him. He didn't see him.
What a good effort, though. Took out 2 near the end there. 1 with 2 grenades. Really
the bank
good.
shot of the actual grenade off the side wall. Like I say, that's one of my favourites, especially in door frames. Just get it around the corner.
What's going on, Mario? Welcome, dude. Hope y'all are enjoying the game. So far, it's been pretty close, and it does seem as though that Gabba's army is on the return. They did lose the first search and destroy if you missed the first half. But they are showing their true form here in the second half on Dojo.
The corner by the... Hold on here if I can see there.
Hopefully that's not commentator's curse.
Yeah, let's hope not. We are on my channel after all. God forbid I have curse on my own channel.
Whose idea was that then? Not mine.
Another one's
coming.
Well, here's an upside to Gabba's army's position is that they have view of the bomb.
Stay right there. He's gonna try to come in.
Can you see me?
Got him.
It'd make their job a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much.
I mean, this is just a landslide victory so far, 5-0, and I don't want to necessarily say that German grandpas can't come back here. We've seen reverse sweeps before, like entire reverse sweeps in this situation.
Yes.
So it's totally doable. But Gabba's army is just on fire at the moment, and they're playing super aggressive too.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody who's been on the end of being a 5-0 up and 5-0 down to get it back to 6-5, it's a hell of it's a worse feeling and also the best feeling. So if they can manage it, it'll be an absolute monumental effort. But they've got their backs against the wall. They've got no more mistakes.
Yeah, Mystery Snug left on the grandpas to try to make this miracle happen. Snug sitting in the corner of the office space, right above the restaurant. Those puddles. Here come the flashes. That's fired. Gets 1. Trying to get 2. I don't know what happened there. But okay. Oh, jeez. All right.
Oh, they've lost.
Army.
6-0. It's a whitewash.
They get the victory and
wow,
tie things up. I mean, that was probably one of the quickest search and destroy matches I've ever seen. I'm gonna be honest. Holy
I mean,
cow.
going back to the actual maps as well. I mean, like you say, you're going to have guys and teams who are going to favour certain maps over others. Like you say, if Gabba's army didn't like that original map they went to. I can't remember what it was now. That long ago. My
House,
brain's all.
I believe.
Oh, how? Yeah. So my brain's gone. Sorry, my brain's gone.
It looks a bit spongy.
That's what she said. But no. It's like I say, people have their own favourites. They know the area. They know like I say, game management, map management. It can be a massive difference. But we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, so now Dojo's out where it looks like we're going to go to Desert Day.
Have I got to move out of the way? 'Cause I can't see the telly.
Ah, you're perfectly fine.
It's like my kids saying, "Get away from the telly, you big head."
See, this is usually just a solo stage, but I've adapted it. I've made the desk big enough to hold at least 2 people.
Is it mahogany? Is it desk mahogany? It looks mahogany to me, or is it MDF? Is it from IKEA? Did you buy it from IKEA?
It must be from IKEA because it's made out of cardboard. So.
No, Wolf. That's what they come in, not what you build things in. That's what they come in.
Oh, whoops!
Yeah, it's the stuff inside the. It's the stuff inside the cardboard.
I built with the wrong material. My bad. I thought the box was what I needed. Well, never mind.
I'm just saying, you're supposed to be the wolf as well. So is it, are you the 3 little piggies? I'll blow your house in. It's made of cardboard.
It does look like they decided to go to town instead of Desert Day. I know a lot of people are not a huge fan of Desert because of its size and are typically fans of it for Search and Destroy. And honestly, it leads to longer gameplay when it comes to Search and Destroy. But I particularly like it as an all-around map. I know people are hesitant around the day variant or night variant because it is so dark. But personally, I think that's what makes it so unique and fun.
Yeah, I know.
I love Desert. I mean, after being absolutely mullered in the tiny house map, being in being on the desert was like being in a whole new country. It was just like you got more room, more, especially trying to cover the central road and things like that. It's still a classic map, and like I say, anybody can't like it. It's just you've got cover from the mountains, you've got cover from the road, the wall, the columns. Oh, it's just great. Illy's house or the shit house, whatever you want to call it. It's always a great place to live and pick people off from distance. Okay, so it's now this one's full on, isn't it? This is now the proper.
Yep.
Not holding back for this one.
Boxes.
I think I've got a sneaking suspicion if Gabba's army can hold here, they've got as good a chance of any to pick this off and not at least lose the game. At least they can stay for the draw.
You know what I find interesting, and I've talked about this before with O'Doyle, is the loadouts. People have different kinds of loadouts for different game modes and such. But I just did see Schlevy's loadout system, and all 4 loadouts include the G36. I'm sure there's different kill streaks and perks and sidearms and stuff like that, and different forms of attachment, but I find that interesting. I mean, obviously it's his favorite gun, as he's running with the trauma for all 4 slots, but it is something to keep in mind that each game mode is going to require something different. I still haven't set up a Search and Destroy loadout simply because my team's not ready to compete yet. But I'm absolutely going to have to. And if there are people who are going to be joining the league next season, they're going to have to consider it themselves.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Because even though the game's, technically it's the same game, it's not the same actual gameplay. And like you say, it's just a matter of using the right materials and the right equipment for the right game mode. So I agree, absolutely agree. You've got to get your loadout spot on. Steve, can we have more loadouts, please? We need more loadouts. 4's not enough. Steve, are you listening?
Im Tunnel.
You know what? I can see Steve a bit like Scrooge McDuck. He's in his ivory tower, just throwing money around like it's raining money, it's raining money. He'll shout at me now. Sorry, boss. Sorry, Gabba.
I think honestly, I think if they could have more loadouts, I think they'll definitely end up doing it. But the new UI,
or just have, once you go into a game mode, that game mode then just has your loadout for that game mode, or 4 loadouts for Search and Destroy, 4 loadouts for Hardpoint. I think that would be, better. You don't have to have like 8. It just gets complicated, and trying to remember what my name is actually hard enough, but remember what your loadout is even harder. So I think if we could just have it for per game mode, that you have a particular loadout, that'd be great.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of UI changes coming to Alvo, and here on my channel, if you guys haven't already perused what's available, I do have a lot of content that outlines a lot of different aspects of the game. And when the new UI does drop, I'm going to go over every little bit that I have been able to peek at and utilize and mess with, and give you guys an idea of like how it's going to kind of future-proof the game, I guess. I'll explain that in a little more detail when that video comes out.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's keeping up with, like you say, keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, Herb's just put in the chat that obviously you can edit your loadouts in private matches, which is fine, which is absolutely perfect, which will be moving to retail soon. And like you say, it's just have that little bit of flexibility, isn't it? Choices. I think there's been a lot of talk about people wanting, games with just auto-reload and games that just think, you know, if you give people choices that fit their gameplay and accessibility, then the game will just grow. I mean, like I said last time regarding the Move controllers and even the DualShock controllers on the PlayStation, you know, the DualShock's perfect for people who've not got very good upper mobility, because you've got the thumbsticks, you don't have to swing around a lot, because obviously the camera won't pick up the light bar on the DualShock 4. But again, it's options will make a game, you know, available to everybody.
Yep, and Alvo's already on its way of doing that. They've done a great job with.
It's more than any other. I've still not known any other game that gives you that level of options and flexibility. God, there's a scrap going on here. There's a scrap going on here.
Massive scrap, and Schlevy was really on a torrent there, just mowing people down. And I gotta give him kudos. His mobility is what gives him the ability to do that. His, you know, jumping from certain levels to other levels to get on the point, sliding to get around corners. I mean, this game has what other games don't, and that's speed and crazy mobility. And I think it's underrated. I think people underutilize it sometimes, except for these top-tier players that we're watching.
Mitte, Kisten.
Like I say, the slide mechanic is still one of my favourite things in the whole world. Being able to stab somebody in the bollocks with a bayonet while you're sliding into them is just an absolute joy. You know, if I get a guy in the game, I'll just say, I'm done. Thank you very much. Elvis has left the building. Thank you very much. You know, but, you know, that's the beauty of it. The amount of, you know, kills you can get by being flamboyant is brilliant.
Yeah, I still recall the one clip of Erb catching Demolition Sean as he jumps down in factory from the catwalk right onto his bayonet.
Yeah.
It was.
Yes.
That was absolutely brilliant. It was so funny to watch, and hearing Erb's reaction was probably the peak of it all.
And I bet you couldn't understand a word he said. I think and then I can see Wolfie say, Mick, can you translate this for me? Because I have no idea what he said. Bless him.
Well, what I can say is this: if there was only a 4-point difference between these two teams, talk about a scrap. This has absolutely been one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the fight. I know we've been talking about a few other things, but this being one of the last matches of this season, I wanted to get some of this information out before we do conclude here in the league. But man, oh man, these two teams vying for these points, just time in, like constantly switching. One team gets it, then they get annihilated, then the other team picks it up. Very limited time in contest here.
The game has gone seesaw big time. I mean, like you say, you know, the games that have ended up 6-0, you know, no disrespect. Yes, they're good to watch. These guys being absolute menaces, but I love a scrap where it's to and fro, and you know, it can go down to. I can see this going down to like the last 10 seconds in the last game. I really can.
I do too. Yeah, and with the current score being a tie, I mean, this ultimately could result in a 3-3 if it continues going in the direction that it does. 114 to 123, I believe, and right now Grandpa's just behind.
Again, this is going to go to the wire again. It just needs that little 10-15 second holding of this hard point. If you can hold it for the full time period, that is a big increase in score. Levy's still absolutely battering people. Trying to hold the pineapple truck. Obviously wants some squelches. Bless him.
He had to resupply.
Yeah. be really good. That would, if you actually go to the ammo truck and actually resupply. That'd be a lovely idea. That would, if you know, get the old ammo truck. I'm not on about putting ammo drops like in certain crappy games, but you know, just being able to nip back and. I know we've got the actual perk where you can pick up ammo. It'd be nice if you could pick up your grenades as well and Molotovs. Again, it's you know, it's another possibility of that having that right setup and loadout for the right game mode. So, well, this is really getting to a good scrap now.
Very, very close. Could you imagine being able to paint your grenades yellow? How great that would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I just piss on them, mate. It'd be easier.
Well, I saw 147 for Grandpa's. I wonder if they have taken the lead as they have held this new spawn at the well site for the great majority of its spawn time.
Yeah, and like I say, once you've got it nailed down for the majority of the actual location, it just ranks the scores up. Oh!
Ambulance.
Thank you very much. Just walking into a air
Has
trap
no
there.
one called out that Spezzi's
No!
there?
Here you go, there's another one. Must be on a
oh
kill
my
streak
god!
now.
Ooh,
he's
now
got the bazooka.
Oh my lord.
He's got Bobby the bazooka, come on.
No one's knocked him off his perch. Spezzi is on fire. This is where communication is
It's
important.
another one. If he puts the turret up, that's game over. If he's got the turret, oh, he's dead. Somebody's finally got him.
Oh my, well he was, in my opinion, he was up there for far too long. That needed to be managed and controlled a lot sooner. I think Gabba's armor just fell short.
That's a spot that most people know about far too easily. You know, once you come round that corner from the actual museum, it's the first place I look, because I used to get mullered all the time from there by not looking. Ooh,
there's a 42-point difference right now between the two, or at least last I saw. I might have
82, 40 odd, yeah. 82, 48, yes, 40 points. Just caught it on the catch-up.
And the clock is ticking down there. I mean, I don't know if this is going to go to time or if it's going to go to points, but either way, German Grandpas are looking good for the win here. And what we have, and that turret is down. Oh, that's going to be devastating.
Yeah, that's just going to wipe the floor. Thank you very much.
Unless you're running Phantom, it's really not going to matter. You can destroy it, but you got to have someone on your team running Phantom.
Phantom. But it's a nasty weapon.
Not looking good for Gabba's army there.
Yeah, they've reached the 200, 49-point difference, yeah. A little spell towards the end just absolutely threw it to the Grandpas there, and there's no way they were going to come back from that.
Well, they could still tie things up going to the team deathmatch. We'll
Absolutely.
See if they can do that. I can say right now with some confidence that the KDRs for both teams look fairly even. But Prinz Nil's putting up a remarkable 51 eliminations himself. And I think Schlevy putting up, 53, if I'm reading that correctly. I mean, they're really good KDRs in this lobby. So team deathmatch can really go one way or the other.
This is going to be fabulous.
And I think it's going to, honestly, it's going to come down to, the map, I think, at this point. Genuinely, the map has really been the critical factor for a lot of the early games. We saw Dojo go towards Gabba's army. Town is kind of like a throw up. I think the town is the original map that was showcased in the trailer, and it was like the first map that was ever like truly completed.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gone through any other rendition since launch. So it's like one of the original true to form maps. And so everybody's familiar with it. And I think it's more of a 50-50, which is why that was kind of close, a little bit closer than perhaps if they had picked Desert Day. But we'll see what TDM befalls us here.
It's going to be interesting what they pick. But yeah, I remember the original trailer. But 2017, it was given out, and I remember it looked stunning. It looked absolutely stunning. I thought, sign me up. And then obviously, the history of that since then is, good old Steve decided to resurrect it from the death, and this is where we are now. It's well done, Steve, and the rest of the guys, Sean and Schmutz and all the rest of the guys behind. I mean, like I say, from where he started to where he is now, it's bags to riches.
It's a completely different game. See, when I first hopped on board in 2019 pre-release, this game did not have prone. It didn't have sliding. It didn't even have jumping. It was literally crouching and running. That's what it was.
I bet Steve was there with his whiteboard and he just wrote down, "I want this, and the other going, "No."
Well, you know,
and now we've got it.
He did have a list, but crazy enough, sliding and prone were not on the list. That actually came from, I believe, if I recall this correctly, and Arab could correct me, but I'm pretty certain it came from us, particularly because they had the sniper, and I was like, I remember saying, if we could get a prone in this game for sniper, a sniper, because that's when I think of someone who's sniping, I think of them laying on their belly and shooting down sight. And then with the sprint being as fast as it was, there was talk about adding the sliding. I think that one came from Steve, if I do recall correctly. But those mechanics and the jumping and the verticality, all that didn't come till like a few months after I remember hopping on Alpha. So it's it's gone through some very cool and obviously beneficial
changes.
Character designs. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna hold this.
Okay.
There's only more to come, fella. There's only more to come.
Leave. Mitte.
Before I forget, because there's a chance I will. I know there's been a lot of questions around PSVR 2. I can tell you right now that I do have my hands on some of the files. It does exist. It is coming, and it's pretty awesome what I'm seeing. So I'm very, very excited for all of us in the future. There's a very strong possibility I'll put down my Quest and pick up my PSVR 2 just for this game.
You better. I'll fall out with you.
It's going to be remarkable, man. I'm quite.
I do love my Quest. I do love my Quest, but at the moment, SVR 2 is just wiping the floor. Gran Turismo and all the rest of the games that are out at the minute. I mean, like I say, sooner Alvo's on there, the better. It needs to be on there. It's got to be, it's got to be with these big boys. It's got to be with these big boys.
It is so close, and I am very, very pleased with what I've seen. A few tweaks here and there that need to be made. Some, it is a new platform, and it is, there's significant graphical enhancements. So it's going to require some fine tuning, but I do want to reassure everybody that yes, they do exist. It is happening. So. I'm excited.
I'm just waiting for my invite. That's all. I'm waiting for my invite for testing. I'm ready and rocking and rolling. Come on, come on, Steve, make it happen.
Well, with this team deathmatch, we decided to come back to town, I guess.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah, it is strange that we came back to town for team deathmatch. I would have suspected that perhaps we get retreat or something of that sort. A little bit smaller of a map than this, but no, they decided to play.
Very rare that we get continuation on the same map. For a different, maybe, like you say, Gabba's army feels they're better at TDM than they are on Hardpoint for this map. But, the moment last score I was, there was only about 5 or 6 points difference. Grandpas were winning.
I can't even get there.
Holding down the ambulance. Levy is using that mega advantage.
I mean, this is a natural hard point on the map, right? Even if you're not playing that game mode, it's like this is a point of contest for everybody. This and the fountain, hell, even the terrace right outside the green hall. I always call it green hall, just call it that way. But,
I know what you mean.
There are certain points where people always contend over, but the police cars to the ambulance is always that
is a pinch point. It's a major pinch point. I mean, like I say, where Slevy is now, it is such a nightmare to get up those stairs and not be picked off unless you've got a well-aimed grenade, bazooka or whatever, just to clear the zone. I mean, you need a snowplow through there half the time just to actually clear the decks. They are making movements. 41, 45, 4 points in it.
Dear Lord.
This is quality. This is why I picked this game to commentate on, because I thought this would be absolute quality. I don't like 6-0ers. I don't like walkovers. I want a good scrap. You know, I want noses bleeding. I want faces ripped off. I want limbs disassembled from every part of the body. Oh, dear.
If I were to compare these two teams, their players in the roster that they have, I would say that these are probably the most equal teams in the entire league in terms of performance, and we're definitely seeing it here tonight. Now, granted, Gabba's Army, they do have a couple of players that were not traditionally on the roster, but I will say that Puddles and honestly, I know I've come across 5v5. I just don't recall playing them enough to know how good they are in terms of their performance. But Puddles I play with often, and yeah, she blends in very, very well with Gabba's Army. Really top tier player, but probably not having played with the team too much. It can be a detriment. It can be a detriment, but so far they're playing a great fight.
This is it.
Behind you guys.
This is turning into. This is going to go down to the wire. I can absolutely see this going down to the actual wire. Both Levy and the grandpas have pretty much put themselves in the firing line to get the points. Just waiting for a scoreboard to come up.
I can't wait for spectator mode. I don't know when we're gonna get that, but we're gonna get it at some point.
Time. Like,
It'll be there, matey. Don't you worry. It'll be there. Like you say, this is on your beta, so at the end of the day, this is only the start of greater and bigger things to come.
65 to 72, I believe, and Grandpa's, if I did see that correctly, are in the lead.
Yes, slightly. Yes. So they're trying to get back to that.
They gotta be careful of putting themselves in compromising positions and spacing out a little bit too much. They gotta try to hold down that focal spot, which they're again trying to contest. And getting back to this is going to be difficult.
I got them all down. That ambulance.
64-78, I think I've read that right.
They're coming from Smallwell.
Yeah, this is where they've just got to be not over cautious, but they've got to throw a little bit of caution to the wind. Again, Slevy back behind the. Great grenade.
Oh, so close. 71 to 81, 10-point difference.
I know. This, again, just need that little 2-minute, 30-second run that they just need to finish off. There's the holding the boxes. Nice little corner there, as you can see behind the Steve's car. Yeah. Again, it's these nooks and crannies that you can understand that work in your advantage.
Ooh, nice pickup there. 77 for Gabba's Army to Grandpa's 85.
Oh, they're catching up, less than 10. They can stay within 10, pull a bit of a run together, and somebody get on the. Spezzy can get if Slevy can get on the kill streaks.
Yeah, and they have less than a minute left now, less than 40 seconds, I believe. The clock is ticking. And now it's coming down to the wire. Both teams are going to have to scrap as quickly as possible to gather as many points and eliminations before that time runs out. They want a comfortable lead here for the Grandpas, and they are holding down the main street, which is not a spot that we often see teams hold up.
Oh, he's got the bazooka.
Oh my God! I think this is solidifying their victory here.
I think that's just slapped him in the face with a wet fish. Fantastic.
And I think, honestly, it looks like the Grandpas are going to walk away with this victory here. After that performance by Spezzy, we're just going to have to give it to him. Oh my gosh, look at this. And he's still going. He's still going. Oh my gosh, 103 to 85. How did they pull away that quickly, man? Holy cow.
You saw how he was picking up from the ambulance, and like I say, then he just completely mullered him with the bazooka at the end, and then backtracked to make sure he wasn't going to get picked off, and then picked 2 more off as he come round the corners. They obviously thought he was going to come round and hold the ambulance. So again, game management, and well done. That was a great scrap. I enjoyed that.
That was incredible.
Well done, both teams. That could have been 4-2 either way, 3 or whatever. Yeah, but no team was going to walk away without being mullered. Not tonight. Definitely not.
Wow. Well, absolutely incredible play. I'm so glad we were able to capture this one, and I'm so glad that you were here to co-host with me. It was a pleasure, and hopefully we can do more of this in the future. We do have.
Mate, you can sign me up. I've got my contract ready. So if you want to sign me up, my going rate is £4.50 and a bag of Smarties. Is that all right?
That sounds doable on my end, man. 100% doable. We might have to talk about the Smarties though. Yeah, I might have to take some off to take a percentage of that.
Is that you want the blue ones? Did you say you wanted the blue Smarties?
I don't care what color.
They've got a little V on them, so if you or your missus want them, you can have them.
I gotcha. Okay, yeah, toss them my way.
But anyway, no, mate, it's an absolute pleasure to be involved, and like I say, I've enjoyed every second of it, and more to come, please, more to come. And like I say, this is it's quality setup, guys. And I hope, like you say, people are watching, people who aren't watching, get them involved. Let's get this community buzzing. It needs to be up there with the top brands and the top things. It's we've put our heart and soul into this game for beta testing and whatever. So let's get out to the masses. Let's get out to the masses and show what this game is all about. It's all about the shits and giggles. It's not all about being 100%. Oh, it's not realistic. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's not about the realism. It's about getting out there and enjoying every second of game time. Because, like you say, people get salty with stuff. Just chill out. Gaming it's a hobby.
Yeah,
yes, I know
some
people.
fun.
I know some esports guys earn a lot of money, but we're not in that league at the minute. But we're starting to make inroads, and that's what it's all about.
As long as you're having fun and you're doing it with friends, that's all that counts. And this competitive
Absolutely, 100%, mate.
And the competitive side of Alvo is just to scratch that itch that everybody has. Whose D is bigger, right? Like that's what it's all about. Like you just want to scratch that itch and be like, who's
got the biggest kahunas?
That's right. It's more of a pride thing, but hopefully we got some really cool stuff coming your way for future leagues. I know that I got some stuff planned myself. We got a whole new rule set that will be coming out as well. I will be posting that hopefully around the time of the finals. I just got to fine tune some things. I've gotten some input from pro esports players, and I've gotten some input from community members as well. So I'm doing this the best that I can to ensure that it's the fairest that I possibly can. And if you guys want to participate in the future, you got to join the Discords now. So go over to the main Alvo Discord. If you don't know how to get there, just go over to the Facebook group. It will have a link there. So be sure to click that. And from there, you can also get the link to the Alvo League Discord, which was this whole thing, by the way, was originally started and run by the community, the test league that is. So big kudos to everybody who participated in its development and progression, and to all the players and participants, thank you so much. I did make an announcement over on the Discord before, and I meant every word. This has been a remarkable learning experience for everybody. It's been educational. It's been an absolute blast. So many great players coming together to make so many great teams. 8 teams for a test league to see how this runs is remarkable for a game like Alvo that's only been, it's been out for 2 years and has been on the climb to make things that much better for all of us in terms of our experience. So kudos to the community. Kudos to Outside In Entertainment, which is owned by Steve. That's his company, for letting us broadcast this to you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in coming back, be sure to go to the twitch.tv/AH commentary channel and subscribe over there, or hit the follow button. It's follow over there. And if you guys want some more Alvo content, you can also go to the Alvo main page. And if you want some alternative perspective, there are so many different channels out there covering Alvo, but if you guys like my perspective, you can be sure to hit the subscribe button here and check out all the content I have here. But I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. We're going to mosey on out of here, and I know it's late in some parts of the world. Arab is already off, and hopefully we will see you guys.
It's way past his bedtime. He needs to he has to put a nappy on before he goes to bed.
I heard he was running out of them too. So.
It's grim. But before we finish though, I just want to say one thing. Thanks to Wolf, thanks to Titch, thanks to the guys for setting this up, because like I say, you guys put a lot of time and effort in. These guys don't get paid for doing this. This is purely love of the community, love of the game, and love of the actual, the systems that we've got. Also, we want to get out to more VR people. People think VR's not there yet. It's bloody there. It's here. It's now. these are the sort of things, you wouldn't have thought that, be able to do any sort of league matches of any VR sort of content. It's all about Call of Duty, Warzone, and CS:GO. No, there's a community out there, massive community that just can't give enough to this particular game, and this community has been absolutely brilliant. So please buy a VR, get your mates to buy Alvo, be it on PlayStation or on Quest, Pico, whatever platform they've got. Please tell them to get on there and play it, because I'll tell you one thing, within 10 minutes they'll be absolutely rolling with laughter, because it's just one of the best experiences you can have in a VR headset.
Agreed. Well, I think that's going to conclude tonight's match between German Grandpas and Gabba's Armory. Congratulations to both teams on a remarkable season. Hopefully we see you guys come back in the future to compete again, because you're an absolute blast and pleasure to be around. And it goes to show you don't necessarily have to be the best to have a good time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you when the finals are announced between Trauma and Death Squad. It's gonna
Well, I've got my penguin suit ready, so I've got my dicky bow and my tux. I'm ready for the final, mate. This is like the World Cup, the FA Cup final, the Super Bowl, and everything rolled into one. If you get chance, look at Wolfie's brilliant presentation video for the actual final. It's quality, mate. It's absolute. I mean, I know you showed it me before you viewed it, but even when I watched it, when you showed it O'Doyle, the hairs on the back of the neck were just, well, I haven't got any hairs to be fair, but you could just feel that thing. Honestly, I'm still getting Bond vibes. It was like a James Bond trailer when it starts. It's brilliant, mate. So, yes.
Hopefully it sparks some excitement around it, because it's surely one that you don't want to miss, and it's going to be broadcast all over the place. So be sure to tune into one of those sources. That's going to be it for us here. I can't even say on amateur hour commentary, because that's not where we are, but that's going to be
we're
it.
somewhere. We're in Wolfie's back garden in his IKEA shed with his slightly dodgy cardboard table.
Hey, man, it took me 2 days to put this cardboard table together.
Did you get the little Allen key so you can, everybody gets an Allen key with the...
Just don't touch it. It's held together by glue, okay? It'll fall to pieces like a house of cards.
Yeah, like most things, it's held together by duct tape and coat hangers and blue tack, and that's about it.
That was the best way to put shit together, man.
Yeah, if you need any more sellotape, I've got some somewhere.
Well, thanks
for inviting. Thanks for inviting me, and well done to the teams today. It's been a great game to watch, and that's the beauty of Alvo. It's just everybody can be involved.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Ladies, taters, wild crocodile.